1 second. What? Karen from Shockya, and if you could just sit back, that would be awesome. Thank you.
So I wanted to start off by asking you what really interested you in your part in the film and how you became involved as well.
So I became involved because I'd worked with Stephen Woolley, the producer, a few times, and he sent me the script, said, we want you to do this. Lone, I'd met a few times and wanted to work with her. We almost had worked together a few times. And then I read the script and loved the character of Katrin. As I loved the script in general. I thought it was really, really well written, very witty and fast and moving and dense and full of everything. But their character really, it was for me a new type of character to play because she's more of an introvert, and even though she has this kind of real strength inside her, she's not necessarily a kind of a strong woman. She's quite shy and quite gentle. But yeah, it was just, and also the cast, there were some of the actors were already attached, like Sam Claflin and Bill Nye. And I'd not worked in a film that felt so British for years. So it was nice to shoot in Britain and be surrounded by such an array of fantastic actors and creative people, yeah.
I saw the film last night and I thought it was interesting how your character is really like the protagonist in the film, and since this is a war film, and how it really focuses on her journey as opposed to like maybe like the men who were fighting on the front line. So is that something that you really enjoyed, like showing her like getting like becoming like this really strong like protagonist throughout the film, and like this era especially?
Absolutely. I think I love that. So I've got this sort of agenda, which is that women in film don't always have to be strong. They can be everything. And I think that Katrin starts off as someone that is very sort of, she doesn't really understand that she could do this job. And that's what was happening during the war. Women were thrust into work, and they didn't even realise that they could be mechanics, or that they might even be good at it, or they might be a good writer, or they might be a good bus driver, or really good at operating machinery. So all of a sudden, women were in these positions and learning about themselves on the spot, and it was very, very quick. And that's what happens to Katrin in this movie. She's sort of starts off as a wife, and a doting wife, and by the end she's a screenwriter, and it's very gently done, very subtly done, and she has to go through some pretty tough experiences in order to get there. But and what we usually focus on with wartime movies is the war itself, but actually there was so much going on, the effects of war on the home front. It was very interesting what was going on in the UK for women, and also for films, propaganda filmmaking, and what was going on there is very interesting. So it was great that this book existed. Lissa Evans, who wrote it, was fascinated by that period. So, yeah.
And speaking of the book, and was that helpful? Like in general, do you really like enjoy having like source material and having information to really look on to inform your character as well?
I think so. I mean, I've not played many women from novels, but I always find it very, very helpful. It's, someone has written a lot of work, a lot of material for you to draw from, and I actually found it quite intimidating at first, Lissa being on set, because Katrin is kind of her really, and yet, and you want to do it justice, and it's her baby, it was her first novel as well, so but it's a gift to have. But then you also have to draw really what you're speaking the lines of the script, and Gabby, who wrote the script, is different to Lissa, so you have so much to draw from. But it's always a luxury to be sort of have. I've done a couple of graphic novels as well, where literally the expressions are given to you shot by shot. It's like a storyboard, but you kind of then interpret it in the way you want to.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. It was great meeting you.
And you, thank you.